What up, guys? Jason Guyman here. We're going to talk Christmas lights today, and we're actually going to talk about quoting today because I believe quoting is the most important thing to do, and it's not just about quoting, but other things that go along with quoting. And so I'm going to try something here today, and I'm going to be on TikTok, and I'm going to be on here. So if you see me looking down, I may be looking at what we got going on here. But we're going to talk about how do we quote professionally, how do we quote and to make money, and that is my goal for today, so that way you can understand quoting a little bit better and how to quote better and how to just get better at quoting. I know a lot of times this is something that a lot of people struggle with, is quoting. And so as we go here, I wanted to hit on this because I do feel like this is something that is very, very important. And so my goal today is to help you guys grow your Christmas light business, because we love Christmas lights, and Christmas lights are awesome, right? Who thinks Christmas lights are awesome? If you think Christmas lights are awesome, give me a shout out, give me something in the comments of Christmas lights are awesome. So Fresh Look Exterior says, woohoo, Christmas lights. And I agree 100% with Christmas lights. Christmas lights are my favorite. So with that, let's get this ball on the road, and let's get this on the show. And I'm going to hit on quite a bit of things today for Christmas lights. But if you have any questions about Christmas lights and a Christmas light install business, give me a shout in the comments, and I will get to your question on about Christmas lights. So if you didn't know who I am, I'm Jason Guyman. I started my Christmas light business in 2017 or 2014, and I grew my business, and now I sold it, and now I help people start and grow their Christmas light business. And so I love helping people go from 0 to 100,000 or 0 to 1,000,000. It is something that I am passionate about. I help it. I love it. And so it is something that I hope I can help you. And if I give you a little bit of value, that you will take it and take action, and you can change your life and how you can do for that for yourself. And so these are some things that we are going to talk about, and this is how I am going to talk and help you grow. Before we get too started in here, we got a few people on here on Facebook and YouTube, and I got people on TikTok. We got MRX, and I don't know, a bunch of names that we can't explain on TikTok, but we got Evident Cleaning here. Hello. We love Christmas lights. We closed our largest Christmas light job to date, and that is awesome. So every Wednesday I go live on Christmas lights, so do not hesitate to come back and find me, and I will get you more information whenever. Do you charge takedown lights, or how does that work with your customer? And so first off, I will get back to this question. You can do it either which way. We had this discussion in our class. I did have a large in-person class this week. I went down to Donovan, and on TikTok I got a picture of some guys that was doing some takedown, and we were talking about this, how Donovan started with a $75 takedown thing, and he just left it there. So you could actually, people do pay to do the takedowns, but it is an all-inclusive service if you don't. And if some way that you can do a $75 or $100 takedown, so that way if you need to give a discount or something, you can say, hey, I'll give you free takedown, which is a $75 bargain. So that is definitely something that you can look at doing. Second year doing Christmas lights, hope to get in earlier this year. Last year I started in December. But the good thing is you started, and that is a very important part, is getting started. Because if you never get started, it will definitely help put you ahead of the game this year. How do I get my contract made, and when do you have them signed? So I just have it as if you pay, you basically have signed it unless you have something else going on for that. So let's go and get this show on the road and let's talk about pricing a little bit. And not just pricing, but let's talk about how we can do this as we figure out our quoting process. Because quoting is not just about quoting every lead you get. If you try to quote every lead you get, you will never get done, because you will get a lot of tire kickers from the leads that you get. And especially if you're on Facebook, you get tons and tons of tire kickers. And so if you want tire kickers, you're going to get them. And so if you try to do a quote for every job that you get, it's going to be really hard to quote every job. You're just not going to get it. And so this is something that you will get, and plenty of no to go around. Because if you try to quote every job, you will find out that you will be very busy doing a lot of quotes and not making a lot of money. And so this is something that as you start growing your Christmas light business, it is definitely something that you will understand real quick, that you do not want to quote everybody. It is something that takes a little bit of time, and it takes some time to get for this. I don't know what this is wanting me to do. Telling me to swipe over. I've never done live on Christmas lights or on my TikTok, but I did it one time. I shouldn't say I've never done it, but that's just where I'm at. And so that is why there is tons of tire kickers. Tons of tire kickers. We are weeding them out early. This year closed 3 of 39 leads. Exactly. And so you might think that I've got 39 leads, and if you tried to do a quote for every one of those quotes, it would have took you hours and hours and hours. And that is why we got to, first off, when we get these on the phone, we have to pre-qualify them. We have to cut the fat before we get too far. Because why do people pay for Christmas lights? Because they are awesome, and it is something that people love to have the magic. And so that's why people pay a lot of money for Christmas lights. And it's an awesome business, and it is something that it takes a little bit of time, but it is something that people do pay a lot of money for Christmas lights. And so as we are growing our Christmas light business, and as we start getting all of these quotes, you've got to start pre-qualifying these people before the very beginning. Now, I know we had a conversation in my Christmas light Facebook group. If you're not in my Christmas light Facebook group, it is a free group. It's been getting a lot of traction here lately. You can go check it out at Christmas Lights training, or Christmas light install training and community. And it is a free group. It is a no BS group. If you come in this group and try to sell something, you will be kicked out. I will let you sell stuff if you give value. If you come in and every post is about selling something, bye. You get about one chance, and that's it. And the one chance is the first time I see you post and it is something about selling, I kick you out. So that's how I play those games in there, because I hate groups that is all about selling, selling, selling. So if you come into my group, I would highly recommend that you give value. If you run Facebook ads for people, tell people how to run Facebook ads. And you might say, well, that's stupid, Jason. Why would I do that? Well, if you've read Alex Hermosi's book, you would know why you do that, because you'll get 10 times more work. But if you come in there and that's all you do is say, I'm a Facebook guy, Jason will boot you out really, really fast. That's how that works. I don't play around. I don't do it. That's how it works. So back to me talking about I live in Louisiana. I own a pressure washing business, and during the winter months, I'm looking for something to do. Well, Christmas lights is definitely for you. I promise you. Christmas lights is a super profitable business. You'll make more money in 2 months for Christmas lights than you can make all year. And I've got guys already closing jobs. Now, if it's your first year, It's kind of hard to start closing jobs now. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it's a little bit harder to do your first year. You will start getting more and more leads the end of October and the 1st of November, and then you get really busy about the second week of November if it's your first year. So with that, how do we quote? When we're on the phone with people, if we are going to do in-person quoting or if we are going to do a online quote, either which way, we have to pre-qualify these customers. You're going to ask a question, and you're going to basically say, hello, I am on pressure wash, or this is Christmas Lights Help, and I am here to let you know that this is a professional service. Have you ever had professional lights installed? And if they say yes or no, you're going to answer the exact same thing. And so what you will do is you will say, alrighty then, we will do this for you. And so as we do this, you will see that we install the lights. We make them perfect to your house. It's a custom fit to your house. And so as we are doing this, you will find out that we install the lights, we bring the lights, we give you amazing customer service. If your lights will never stop working, because if they do, we come out within the next 1 to 2 business days, whatever you want to say, and we will make sure that your lights are working all year long. And with that, our starting packages start at $8.99, and our average package is about $1,500 to $1,800. Does that sound like something that you would like? And they're going to give you one of two answers. One of them is going to be yes, and actually it's going to be, what? There's no way I would pay that much for a Christmas light job. The other one is, and after you ask that question, you're going to keep your mouth shut, because if you talk, you're going to lose that customer too. So after they're done, you're going to say, awesome. They're going to be quiet, and they're probably going to think about it, and they're going to say, yes, that sounds like a yes, I will go ahead with it. And at that point, if we are going to do in-person quote, then we're going to start setting up our times so that way we can get the time to schedule out there for them. Usually you want to offer 2 days, and then you want to offer morning or afternoon, so that way you can do it best for them. If you're going to do it online, then obviously we're going to work and start getting the address and all of their information. And so this needs to be a pretty quick phone call, because if you get 100 leads in a day and each phone call is 5 minutes or 6 minutes, that's 600 minutes. That's a lot of time that is wasted if you are not doing it this way. So it is important that we make sure that we are making sure that we are pre-qualifying the customer. After we pre-qualify the customer, then that's when we are going to start working up our quote. There's a couple different ways you can do your quote. You can do it on Canva is one way to do it. You can do it on Google Earth is another way to kind of see how we can do our quote for our Christmas light business. And by doing this process, you will learn that it does take some time to do Christmas lights. And so that is how we pre-qualify our clients. You can help and pre-qualify some of these leads by putting it on the bottom of your website. And that is another way that we can pre-qualify our customers. We can ask a question, and from that question, we can get that information, and then we can pre-qualify that customer. And I'm going to see if I can pull one up here so that way you can see the pre-qualification of the customer. And so this is one of my sites that if you join christmaslights.io, you will be able to have this site also. And so this is what it kind of looks like. And as we scroll down and as we talk about Christmas lights and all the awesome things, how many days of Christmas lights, what is your project budget? And my computer is stupid and it does that every time. But it asks, what is your starting packages at $599, $600, $1,000, $2,000 plus. So this is a way that we start pre-qualifying the customer. Just because they filled this out and clicked the button, does that mean that they have been pre-qualified 100%? It's just the start of the pre-qualification process for people, because otherwise you might look at it and be like, well, they didn't pre-qualify, and that can be an issue. So we do need to pre-qualify the customers. That's how we're able to pre-qualify these customers. So the next thing is we've got to start figuring out how many feet if we're going to do it online. And so, Spook, would you turn off the invite? Decline. So we have to figure out how far, how many feet that we have on there. And when we do Christmas lights, we really need to do packages. Because packages are the number one thing that we need to do for this. And so this is what we need to do for us to do packages. And so just because they said they want roof line doesn't mean that's all we're going to give them. We're going to give them everything. We're going to give them the roof line. We're going to give them the columns. We're going to give them the ground lights to go down on the ground. We're going to give them a wreath. We might give them a couple of trees and bushes, and we are going to let them have everything. If we can do it in 2 or 3 different packages, we can do it that way, or you can do it a la carte, that this is recommended, this, and this, and that's a way that we can add this up and add it to get more money for our Christmas light business, right? And so these are things that we need to do to make sure that we are getting our average is up. Now, quoting pricing wise. And when we're quoting pricing rise, I know a lot of people will say, you can never get that in my area. And you're probably right. If you don't believe that you can get that in your area, you're not going to get it in your area. But I guarantee you somebody in your area is getting that. You just don't believe that you can get that. And so these are things, as we do this, we have to look at this. And as we do it and as we keep growing, you will find out that as this keeps growing your Christmas light business, you will find out that you can get higher prices than what you think. Again, you are not your customer. A lot of people think that you are your customer, but you are not your customer. You do not live in a 5,000 square foot house. You do not drive 3 Mercedes-Benz in the driveway. And so quit thinking and spending out of your wallet and start spending in their wallet, right? Because if you spend in your wallet, you might not even get them, because if you're super low, they probably think there's something wrong, and that is the issue with that. So that's why we don't want to be super low, but we want to keep our average tickets up, and that's why we want to charge. So when we're looking across the roof line here, anything along the roof line, that's going to be anywhere from $8 to $12 per foot. Now, you might look at the bulbs and start counting them, and they're actually on 15-inch. So you're actually going to make more than that per bulb, because every 100 feet, it's only 80 bulbs. And so with that, this is how we're going to price that. You may be at $8 a foot. I got guys at $12 a foot. I've got guys at $14 and $16 a foot. It's all in what you want. If you only have a few spots if you're only doing this on the weekend and you only have a few spots to install, then you raise your prices, right? You get them up even more. And so these are things that we want to do to keep our prices up where we need them to be at, so we're in profit zone. Profit zone, I know, is something that a lot of people don't like to talk about, but in the end, we need to be in profit zone. So this here is going to be anywhere from $8 to $12 per foot or more. I don't want to put a cap or a limit on you. I just don't want you to put a minimum under there, and then you go selling this stuff for $5, $6 a foot, and you think you're making good money, and all you're doing is twice the work. I know there was a conversation in our Facebook group about the why it was 125 feet, and he's like, wasn't going to do it for $750. And he's like, why would you not do that for $750? Why would you not do that for less than $7 a foot? And he's like, because I'm not here to not make money. And he's like, I'll make money. And he's like, I'd rather do them at $10 a foot and work on the jobs that I can get at $10 a foot and make a way more money. Because in the end, people that buy from you and their friends, we want rich friends. We don't want poor friends. And people usually hang around with people that they're like. You can pin a comment, tap a comment. Oh, okay. You can. Moderators can do this too. Profit so he can buy a Mercedes. And that is basically true, right? That's what profit is for. So that way at the end of the year, you got to pay taxes. And taxes ain't a bad thing, because if you pay taxes, that means you're making money. Now, we don't want to pay way too much, but we do want to pay. It's not a bad thing to pay taxes. Taxes is not a bad word. I know we sometimes think it is, but that means you're making money, and that means you're making profit, and profit is not a bad thing. So do we want to minimize our taxes? Sure. Hire a good CPA, but don't buy a bunch of stuff just because it's a tax write-off and you go in a bunch of debt. That can get you in business troubles real fast, and so don't do that either. So up here is $8 to $12 a foot. The next thing is that over here on our columns, you're going to look at anywhere from, usually you're going to be about $40 per strand. And usually I would say I would be anywhere from about $120 to $300 per column is where you're going to be at per column. Because as these columns they could go 2 stories, they could go wide, they could go, they could be 4 foot around, and that's going to change how much it's going to be per foot. So it's not like you can do it around and not know how round they are. So that's kind of why I always say 120 to $500-$600, because it depends on how far it goes up. It depends on all of those things for this to factor in your columns. For ground stake lighting, these are another thing that I really like. You're going to be anywhere from $5 to $12 a foot, whatever you want to be at. These will probably be a lot of your callbacks, is the ground stake lighting, kids playing ball, dogs running over them, all of those stupid things that cause issues for your install business. So those are where you're going to be at. And then I love wreaths. You're going to put those up in here, and you can be, I do personally like the 60-inch best, because the 60-inch does look good. And so with the 60-inch, that is what I like. And so I don't know if this one's got a 60-inch on it or not on this photo here. Oh, nope, it's the same exact photo there. And so it is something that you can do too. That one don't have, none of my pictures have wreaths on them. There we go. There's a 60-inch wreath, and now we are going to bid those at around anywhere from $350 to $600-$700. And so wreaths are another good way to get our average ticket up. We have garland on this one here. The garland over here, well, I'll find it here. This garland is very expensive. Garland is very expensive to buy. To get good garland, you're looking at anywhere from $40 to $85 per 9-foot piece. So that's why we charge anywhere from like $150, $185 and on up, because garland is super duper expensive to buy. And the other problem with garland is it's super hard to store. You got all of this garland, and it takes up boxes and boxes and boxes of storage that you don't have. You'll have a whole container full of garland because it takes up so much room. Is there a lot of money to be made in garland? Yes, there's a lot of money to be made in garland. But it is definitely something that we have to look at, and what we have to do to make that garland and stuff to work. So that's how we can do our garland. And if y'all have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. So we talked about garland, we talked about wreaths, we talked about C9 lighting, we talked about, on the C9 lighting, it comes in either 12, 15, 18, 24-inch, 36-inch. Most of it is either probably going to be installed with 15 or 12-inch. It doesn't matter which one you pick. They both look amazing. So I wouldn't fret of which one is which. I would just pick one and go with it. That is the best part about it. Is it bad to hang the lights from the guy from last year? That's a great question. I will not hang someone else's lights because it is a disaster. You will get a big pile of lights in a big pile of box, and it sucks. And you will see how much it sucks. And so it is definitely something that this is not something that I would do. And if you do, I know the most of the time when you're doing this, you charge $300 an hour and a minimum of 3 hours. So that way it's pretty much the same cost of my product versus his product. You don't know what works. You don't know what's good. You don't know what's bad. And that's why I don't hang someone else's product. And they will tell you it's professional product, and a lot of times you'll find out it's not professional product. It's crap product. So that's another problem that you have to worry about hanging someone's stuff from the year before. What kind of first-year advertising budget do you recommend? I would probably go by anywhere from 2 to 500 yard signs and go out there. So you're looking at $600, $700 in yard signs to at that $2,000, and I would do that. And if you've got budget, if you've got a $5,000 budget, and you want to make $50,000 to $100,000, then go for it. If you want to put $5,000 to $7,000, $10,000 into it and get $100,000, that's how you get to $100,000. Is there people gotten to $100,000 and not spend that much their first year? Absolutely, they have. It's just all in how you want to do your budget and how much money you want to make. Because the more money you put into marketing, the more money you are likely to make. The less money you put into marketing, the less likely you are to make. I'm not saying that you can't make money without putting it in marketing, but it does take some time and some effort to do this for the Christmas lights. All right, well, I'm going to go up here and I'll read some questions. And what about on here? Do I got any questions on the old TikTok? Let's see. I don't think I do. I got a bunch of people on here. That's pretty cool. Or I don't know how many people are on here. I don't know how to read this. 3 people on here. People join. Let's see. Bro, dang, I hope your cell tactic is better than your speech today because, damn, I love people. People are awesome. That's the only questions I've seen. All right. I'm going to scroll up here and get some questions off of YouTube and Facebook. Second year doing Christmas lights. Hope to get in earlier this year and to do that. How do you get in contact? How do you get a contract made, and when do you have them sign it? Again, a contract is only worth as much as the paper it's on. And so I'm not, only thing in my contract basically says about, this is when we're going to put them up. This is when we're going to take them down. And they are my lights, and I need to make sure that you have electricity. That's kind of how that works. We love us some Christmas lights. Christmas lights are awesome. My hero. Plenty of no's to go around. How's it going, Nathan? Tons of tire kickers as we are weeding out early this year. Closed 3 jobs out of 39 leads. I had someone just pay $1,500 when I went to push them just to get a quote. So you never know. I want to do Christmas lights this year. The best way is going to one of your classes, but for financial and traveling, what's the best way to practice? I don't know anything about lights. So obviously, I do have an in-person class coming up in October. And so that is definitely one way. You can go to kpwtrain.com and you can find the classes there. You can go to christmaslights.io. It'll also take you there. The other option is I have an online training, and on that online training, it does come with a website. It comes with all kinds of cool stuff, christmaslights.io. And so that's all the how-tos and everything is in there. And then lastly is go check out my YouTube channel. I've got a lot of this on my YouTube channel. At Christmas Light, if you look up Christmas Lights Help, I believe you'll find my YouTube channel there, and go start watching videos. I've got a lot of the videos in there of how-tos. They're just scattered here, there, and everywhere. So that's kind of how that works. Practice on your own house. Soak up as much of YouTube as Jason as you can. You can go and buy the starter kit. You can go to christmaslights.io, click buy lights, and in there'll be starter kits, and you can buy the starter kit enough to do one house, and it's like $200. I think it's $189. So that's another way that you can do that also. When do you start putting out yard signs? I know some people putting them out now. They're not putting out a lot of yard signs, but people are actually putting out yard signs now and getting phone calls. So that is something that you can do, is start putting them out so you can start getting phone calls. And again, if you're on TikTok and you have a question about Christmas light, business install, whatever, don't hesitate to ask. I am watching that chat also. What's up, Jason? Thanks for training this past weekend. Who won the book? Who did win the book? I don't remember who won the book. It was... Can't remember. I need to turn off. Okay. Gino, the best time to start is now. Last year was our first year, started in October, done around 66,000. We have around 50 Christmas lights signs out already. So you already putting out the Christmas light signs. How do you pre-qualify customers? We already answered that. Jason, if we pay you for Facebook ads, would you be able to provide that web page for us? Yes, I would. I can give it to you with that also. I love that people will hit that $599 and 5,000 square foot house. It even says that price is typically a small house with a front roof line. Yeah. Hey, that's me. Is it bad to hang lights from the guy last year? We already hit on that. How do you handle the 30 calls in November? That's a good question. When you start getting the phone calls and a lot of phone calls, this is hard to do and make sure you answer your phone, because a lot of people will not answer their phone, and you will lose leads because you don't answer your phone. You will lose leads because you have not quoted these people. You've been sitting on quotes for 2, 3, 4, a month long, and at that point, you might as well just throw that lead in the garbage. So you got to be on Johnny on the spot. This is if you got to hire someone, if you got to hire someone to do the quoting, if you got to hire someone to do the lights so you can do the quoting. It does take a lot of work. It does take a lot of effort. It does take a lot of time. And so you've got to be Johnny on the spot to get those customers up and going. Otherwise, it will be hard on you and you won't get it done. Also, do you figure the cost of marketing in the cost per foot? I'm figuring that you are $2. Easy way to look at it. What kind of marketing? What kind of your first budget? Hello, so happy to be here on the live. Yep, I go live every Wednesday at 4 o'clock. What is the best door greet from knocking? How are you doing? I don't know. For Christmas lights, I don't know anybody that's done door knocking that has had success with it. Just because even like this Christmas light customer, the neighbors usually aren't your customer. So that's, if this was a pressure washing, right, and this house is dirty, probably all the houses are dirty. But not everybody loves Christmas lights. I know that sounds bad, but not everybody loves Christmas lights. Jason, it's my first year solo, and I have 20 past clients after I stopped working with a company. I love your content. I'm advertising Halloween lights and Christmas. Yep. I don't know if I should do 1,000-foot rolls or 25-foot. I would do the 1,000-foot roll. I would do the 1,000-foot starter pack. That way it comes with all of your clips. It comes with all your bulbs. It comes with all of your males and females and extension cords and everything. And I think it's only like $1,300 or $1,400, and that gets you everything. So you can go check that out at again christmaslights.io, or you can go to christmaslights.io/L for lights, and I'm just trying to keep it simple, and that's another place you can get all that stuff. How can I check the prices of neighborhoods through PO? How can I check the prices of the neighborhoods? If you talking about what people are paying or how much they're making, I would look at post office. I'm assuming you go to the EDDM website, and in the EDDM website, you will find the tools for finding out where you want to be at for your Christmas light, or for how much people are making. That's where that is. It's my first year. Should I go LLC, sole proprietorship, and start a bank account? It is best to do that. That way you can get your insurance and your actual business, and if something happens, you won't lose everything else from that. Hey, Jason, thanks for being a great resource. What's up? Give me some thumbs up. I appreciate it. It's good stuff, guys. Go use it. I've been advertising Halloween. Looking forward to get orange and purple and green lights and scary blow-ups. I would stay away from the blow-ups because they're going to be scary when you got to go back and call and do callbacks. That's when they are scary. I have a boom truck. Can I use it most efficiently? Probably not, because you can't get into yards and stuff like that. The boom trucks are really good for really tough peaks, and boom trucks are really good for big trees. That's where your boom trucks come into. Mr. Michael Connors. We started putting out yard signs last week. We don't put them in your yards. We actually put them at major intersections and entrances to nice neighborhoods. Yes, 100%. That's where I put all my. Actually, I never put no yard signs in anybody's house that we actually did Christmas lights for. We only put them out to everything. Will I make a number right here? Super simple. Make it happen. This sign right here is $3.75. You will spend more than that trying to make them yourself, and they'll look like crap. And it's the font of like the fun font, Christmas Light Pro Installers, with the phone number. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do nothing special. It don't need no more than that. If you try to put more than that on it, it's just gonna not be good. And again, each sign is less than $4 a piece. Moneybushes.com. That's the shipping. That's the stake. That's the whole 9 yards. Moneybushes.com. I want to make cards and signs and have been online making content, really trying to apply myself. Hell yeah, sign me up. It's super important. If you do want Facebook ads and that, go to christmaslights.com, christmaslights.io, and type in, go down, and if you scroll down, you'll see where it says Facebook. It is super important that you answer those phone calls immediately and follow up with phone calls immediately, or you will lose them somebody else. That is a guaranteed period. If you don't answer your phone, there ain't even no use doing anything. Period. If you don't get back to people's messages, there's no use doing it. Period. And Michael is 100% right. They say the first person to answer a phone, it's like 90-some% that you're likely to get the job. So that's why it is so important that we answer the phone and we get back to these people ASAP. We don't wait and try to get back to them when we're not busy. We want to get back to them ASAP, because the faster we get back to people, the faster we are to be able to close that job. And, and a lot of times that's why I like to do in-person quote, because Christmas lights is a feeling, right? They have a feeling, a warm, fuzzy feeling that they want Christmas lights. And so if you do not get that warm, fuzzy feeling closed right away, they will lose that warm, fuzzy feeling. That's a fact. They will lose that warm, fuzzy feeling, and then that warm, fuzzy feeling will go cold real fast. And so that's why we want to. What's up, Andrew Allen 85? How are you doing? On TikTok. When a call comes in or a new lead, I stop whatever I'm doing. If I am up on a roof, I can handle that quote right then and there. Yep, 100%. I agree. Do I call my last year's client ASAP and offer my service? And how can I build package pricing? Yeah, I would be offering, texting, emailing, calling them and see what they want for this year. And then I would definitely do that, and I would, see if they want to add anything for this year. You did it last year, and what can we add for you this year? How can I create an automatic response system? Email marketing. We had success knocking for permanent lights, but not temporary lights. Interesting. Do the starter pack that way. Everything that you need for a job to be complete will come in the pack. And you also know the future reference periods. Yeah, I would agree with the starter packs. The starter packs are definitely way to go. Again, you can check them out at christmaslights.io/L, or go to christmaslights.io and hit buy lights, and that's where you can get those at. Should I spend with the business bank account and use credit to not use my money and make money? Well, here's the deal with that. A lot of people ask me if should I go buy lights, and I would tell you, do not buy lights from the huge convention. Awesome. Do not go buy lights. If you don't have a lot of money, go buy yard signs and go buy all of the marketing stuff, because we ask for a 50% deposit up front, so then that will give you money to go buy the lights. If you go buy lights and you don't have no money for marketing, you're going to have really pretty lights and nobody to put them on. So that's why I tell you to go buy lights, and then, go buy marketing material, yard signs, whatever it might be. Then you can go buy lights. That's what you do. Preaching on premiums, pricing, and selling on it doesn't. And now, Facebook marketing, if you're going to do it on the free version, then that's one thing. But if I was going to do yard signs or Facebook marketing, Facebook ads, I know yard sign works. Here's the deal with Facebook ads. Some people it works and some people it don't. I've had several people have great success with it, and I've had several people not. So that's why I say I would do either one. I wouldn't do both. Signs, the simpler the better. I got to my first 150 clients using Simple Science. Simple Science is simple signs, right? I might not even put pro in here. I might just put installers. Simple. They know what you do. They know what you do when you're driving around. It's red. It sticks out like a sore thumb, and that's the better. Signs, simpler the better. I got that, yeah. From your website, right? What is your Insta and Facebook? When do you start the ads, Jason? Can they cancel anytime? Yes, you can cancel anytime. It takes me about, right now I'm starting to get busy, so it'll probably take me about middle of next week before they're up and running. I used to listen to you working 12-hour shifts at Packing House for a minimum wage, studied and prepared. I have a baby boy in the way, December 24th, real motivation. That is some kick butt motivation for sure. Where are you located at? Is it possible to give too many options on a quote? It could be. All my previous customers are wanting November. How do you talk them into letting you put them up in October? You could either give a discount, is one way, or you try to put them up if the first week of November, but you try to put them up at the last week of October, so that way you can do that. Should you make another Instagram page to promote the Christmas light business, or keep it as the same page as the pressure washing page? For Facebook ads, for Facebook, I would prefer to do a different business page, and I would also probably do it for Instagram too. Hey Jason, you lost a few pounds, looking good, my guy. Maybe now you can climb them roofs. Yeah, I did lose a few pounds. I've lost about 70 of them. Actually, I gained about 5 of them back. So I've lost about, I'm at 256 after coming back from this long weekend of 3-4 day training. And so I haven't been exercising. So I've been kind of at the, I've been on the drag here lately. I've got to get. Today was the first time I went exercised in a while. I went and played with my kids, soccer, out kicking the ball and stuff, and I was running around the field. I offer other services like car detailing, lawn care, and the hair cutting under handy services. But after noting from Jason, I made another account to sell the experience up front and bright. Yep. I'm putting out 50 this week. That said, the homes in St. Pete are very close. Have you heard of anyone having success on door hanging? I don't know many people doing door hanging that's had success. If I'm the most, if I'm for the most part solo, do I promote that and act like I'm going to have more helpers? I wouldn't tell them anything. I'd just say the job's going to get done this time. What's the best way? Let's see. Anybody asking questions on here? I don't think so. Have a great season. All right. What is the best way to let customers know that their lights are on a lease and the property are of the that we? I don't even talk a lot about this. I just talk about it as this is a service that we promote, that we put up the lights, we install them. After the year is up, we come take them back down, we store them, and that way you have amazing lights. The reason why we do this is if next year we have bulbs that are different or whatnot, we will come and take them down. We will do whatever we need to do to fix them, and that way they are our lights, and that way you're not having to worry about bad lights next year or different colors or anything along those lines. I want to install the lights and strands for Halloween, then change bulbs out to white or multicolored red. Yep, it's the way to do it. What storage plans would you recommend? Congrats on the weight loss. So you can either do one way you can do it is you can do cardboard boxes is one way. That way, the biggest thing is don't put them in plastic bags, because the plastic bags they'll hold the water, and you want something that will let the water out. So that's why, like a cardboard box, even if it gets wet, it's going to dry out and it's not going to hurt the lights. Same way, some of them are these fruit trays that you can put them in. They work good. You can do the totes, but I would drill holes in the bottom of them. Drill holes in the bottom of them before you put the lights in, so you don't drill in through the lights. So that's what I would do. I'm from Central Valley. Also, there's plenty of money in that area. Bless you. Thanks for answering those questions. How can I come by for the Marketing Monday and hear on your website? If I come to be a member, I get online training. How do I do that? You can go to christmaslights.io, and every Monday night I go do Monday night marketing on the coaching calls. And so that also gives you all the training and everything you need for that. And it will also get you a website. So that's how you can do that. But yes, anybody on the Tiki Talk that wants to have any questions, I will see if I can have any questions on the old Tiki Talk. The Talky Tick. Uh, I just got an idea of installing Christmas lights. I'm hungry and I'm an able body. Where do you recommend I start? I'm in Washington State. So that one thing I would tell you is Washington State is one of the harder states to get into. It can be. They got a little bit more stricter rules. So honestly, I would check out I do have an in-person training. We actually had two guys from Washington come this past class. It is something that you have to look at doing it because you may not be able to do too much of the cutting the wires and splicing them. You may have to start using either low voltage lights, or you will have to start using what you call it. You'll have to either use low voltage lights, or you'll have to use split ends with the coaxial already on them. So that way you'll have to buy them in lengths. So that's what you have to think about from that area. I use trash bags to store my lights. They can go bad on you from doing that. Because what happens is that moisture don't get out of there, and that can be a problem. Jason, what's your Facebook account for lights? Just look me up on Facebook, Jason Guyman. Best roof ladder, I would use the Goat. That's a great roof ladder. The Goat weighs about 6-8 pounds, 20 feet long. So it's really light. And then I would also look at using the pitch hopper. The pitch hopper works really great. I love using the pitch hopper. And then the last is, your Cougar Paw shoes. Now, one thing I'll say is the Cougar Paw shoes are a little bit harder to get this year because I guess the machine they use to make them is broken or something. I don't know. That's what I heard. So I don't know how true that is, but they say they're kind of hard to find this year. So that's something that you might want to look at. But other than that, that's about all I've got for today. Again, I go live every Wednesday at 4 o'clock. And if you want to check out my Facebook group, I do have a Facebook group. And if you check out Christmas lights install and community is what it is, and that way you can go check it out and go in there. If you want to go check out christmaslights.io, and if you join there, you will also be able to have access to this really cool website over here. I think they're cool. Really cool website that you can have as your own website. So it makes it look professional, it makes it look amazing, and it even looks good in mobile. So that's what you can get there. Or if you need lights, if you want to go buy lights, you can go to christmaslights.com/L, or just go to christmaslights.io, and in the drop down you can buy the lights there. But that is how you are able to do that. So with that, that's about all I've got for today. Hope you all have a great day. I will be back online tonight at 9 on my pressure washing channel. But other than that, hope you have a great night, and we'll see you all later. Merry Christmas.